Hey, peace world. Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. My name is Wood. I was going to jump on, and they got this new thing on YouTube where you can do a short. You can create a short. I don't know how to do it yet. I haven't messed with it, but I wanted to, I had a short thought. I'm not trying to be on here talking for 20 minutes on this particular subject. I just put up last night. I posted the most recent episode of the It's Always Personal podcast, and this week I was talking about John Gruden's situation differently than I discussed it here. A simple point that I wanted to drive home on that, and then I was talking about the Dave Chappelle fallout with this LGBTQ community thing and the cancel culture and all of that. And those were kind of the two major topics on the episode. One thing that happened when I got to talking about the Dave Chappelle section or segment of the podcast, my wife, who was never in the basement, never in our basement, she came down in the basement to be, interestingly, I don't like to be listened to by her when I'm doing my podcast thing. And she came down into the basement and was doing something in the other room, and it really messed up what I was trying to drive home about The Closer. Her and I watched The Closer together. Regardless of all the jokes, regardless of what was offensive or not offensive, what was insensitive, I didn't really have an opinion on none of that. The whole transgender thing is very much over my head. I'm really not that smart of a person to understand what that shit is about. I'm not. And I don't have the need to make any jokes about anybody from that community. Like I said, I saw a discussion on The Closer on this female on this young lady on Instagram, and she was saying something about it's a difference between sex, gender, and genitals. And I was like, man, this is just not the discussion for me. I don't know what to do with this. And I say lastly before I make my point about The Closer, but as a heterosexual male, just a regular man, I'm not in the dating game, or I haven't been out actively trying to holler at women in over 20 some years. I've been married like 18 or 19 years. So all I'm like is treat people with respect. That's all I can really say. But my thing, if I can't say that as a heterosexual man, I just would never have any interest, and I would be messed up if, however it happened, there was some romantic activity between me and an individual that was not born a woman. There would be problems. As a heterosexual man, I'm only interested in ever being romantically involved with the female that was born a female. That's all I know. All this other stuff with the impossible pussy, impossible vagina. I got the joke. But the only thing that I really took away in that whole, I didn't know that the whole special was going to be about Dave's rivalry or ongoing battle with that community. I really don't find that, I'm not that interested in the whole thing. The only thing that he said that sums up my whole position on that thing is at the end of the show, he said something about his transgender or trans woman friend. And it was the way that he's a masterful storyteller. He's not all that great of a comedian to me. This genius and I don't really think he's not my type of comedian. But what he said was, and the way that he said it that was impactful to me was like, his friend told him, can you understand that I'm a human being having a very challenging or troubling human experience? And that was the thing. That was the only thing in the whole hour plus whatever that resonated with me, because while I don't understand the whole transgender thing, I'm not stupid enough to not understand that any individual that came into this world and they become a younger person and start having an issue with how they came to this world, they say like the gender that they were assigned. Basically, if you're a male and at some point in your life you decide that you want to be a female, and then moreover you go to the medical community to undergo procedures to help you become a female, I have to understand that that person is going through a lot of stuff inside their mind, in their own mind. And I can be understanding that that's a hell of an experience. And I gotta let you work that out. Even the people that go out here and get plastic surgery and ass implants and breast implants and calf implants and pec implants, if you are that messed up or you having that type of issue with your own being that you have to go resort to that type of stuff, I gotta believe that something is going on there, and you're doing what you need to do to feel better about yourself. That's really all I can understand about that whole situation. So, like I said, I wasn't trying to come on here and talk for another 15 to 20 minutes. You're more than welcome to check out the It's Always Personal podcast. I'm not going to throw a link in the description or none of that shit. You can Google the shit. It's out there. I talked about the closer along some other lines. But again, the one point that I didn't get to drive home, or fully drive home, because my wife came down there, was that I can totally understand that a member of the transgender community, that they're going through a lot just to live every day and to be happy. I can fully understand that, and I would support and encourage a person to resolve that misery. You know, if they feeling miserable about stuff, do what you got to do to feel better. That's the end of it for me. All the other jokes and everything that he said, again, that shit is way too complicated, way too nuanced, way too many slippery slopes. I can't do nothing with it. So that's all I really wanted to come on and kind of clarify. If anybody does listen to that podcast, and maybe y'all got a lot of people that's in the same boat with me, you know, that you don't know what to make of that. I said last year, when on the Shy, when they had they introduced a trans woman character on the Shy, and the show became, you know, some other stuff, and I was like, man, I don't know. This again, it's too much. It's too many landmines involved with this. I'm gonna fall back. I'm gonna go watch another show, and that was that. So, hey, as far as Dave, again, man, I don't really. I laugh at some Dave comedy. I respect, like his, and that really wasn't even a regular comedy show to me. It was like I listened to a speech. You know, I listened to one person. It was a TED Talk or something. It was, you know, and it's amazing that he can do his comedy in that way and receive the, you know, the support and to be revered the way that he is. I don't know. I was never a fan of the Dave Chappelle show. It was a couple of skits that I thought were funny. I don't know, man. Hey, that's why I always say. That's why that saying was so profound to me, that you don't have to be great to start. You have to start to be great. Because as long as you commit to whatever the hell it is you're trying to do and you see it through, it might pop for you. It might work for you. And then lastly, I just was thinking this as I pulled in. The other thing that Dave said was that he had a problem with white people. And his ongoing battle has been with white people. Or like white people, bigoted white people. And I'm just like, you've made a ton of freaking money from white people. Like, white people are the ones that were cutting the $50 million checks at Comedy Central, The dude at Netflix that cuts him the checks for these specials, 20 million a pop or whatever for 3 of them. These people who you oppose have made you a handsomely wealthy dude. So I wish I could figure out. I hope one day before I'm out of here that I figure out my thing. But that's it, man. I just wanted to clarify that. Let me get on out of here. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a phenomenal rest of the week. Peace.